What?
Want to make out?
Here on the couch?
Yeah, why not? Malou and Rosie are out of town.
What about the dog?
Who cares? It's not even our dog.
I don't want Nat and Pete's dog watching us.
It's not like the dog is going to tell Nat and Pete about our exploits.
Just take me to the bedroom.
Okay, fine.
You have to carry me.
But Josie, my back.
What happened to my big, strong American?
He got a bad back.
Guess you don't want to make out then.
Fine. Oh.
I forgot. The sheets are in the laundry. Take me back to the couch.
Let me count the ways we will spend our days living our life in the USA. How about Josie? We're in America now. How about Josie? Don't let it get you down. How about Josie? How about wow?
Hey everyone, and welcome back to my show, Aber, Josie, with me, Josie the German, all about my life in Los Angeles with my very own American. Tell me, do you also sometimes have a hard time appreciating where you live? I got so bored with Los Angeles at the end of last year that I had to go to a completely different country.
But Josie, New York is not an entirely different country.
Everett, New York and California are totally two separate countries.
That's like telling a hamburger that Bavarians live in an entirely different country.
Yeah, the hamburger would agree with you.
Too bad they can't talk. Du bist ein Fischkopf, oder? Well, at least they taste good.
The point is, New York is like a way better city than LA.
You're just saying that because New York is America's most European city.
Yeah, I mean, it's even named after a city in Northeast England.
True. And before that, it was named after Holland's capital.
Oh yeah, even old New York was once New Amsterdam. Why'd they change it?
I can't say. People just liked it better that way. Point is, maybe LA is just not European enough for you.
I just feel like we live in this gigantic city and I'm bored all the time. But we go to New York and there's like a million things to do every single day.
Oh, that's just tourism bias. I bet New Yorkers say the same thing about LA. Remember when we visited Times Square?
Yeah, it was awesome. We went like 5 times. That's why they call it Times Square, because you gotta go lots of times.
Well, anyone who lives in New York will tell you that they avoid that area like the plague. Kind of like the same way we avoid Hollywood Boulevard.
Hey Google, navigate to Dr. Feynman's office.
Okay, in half a mile, take a left on Hollywood Boulevard.
Hey Google, find a new primary care doctor. I don't know. I still feel like New York is a better city than LA. You said it yourself. If we lived in New York, you would go to Broadway like all the time.
Well, yeah, because they have famous people. POTUS starred Vanessa Williams and Rachel Dratch from Saturday Night Live and Leah DeLaria from Orange is the New Black.
See, in LA we almost never go see plays because they almost never star famous people. The only way to see a famous person in Los Angeles is by bumping into them in a coffee shop or with your car.
Okay, but there are pros and cons to every city. You're really gonna tell me that you like the beach better over there?
Now we stand in the Atlantic.
This one is also pretty cold. Well, at least we went. When was the last time we went to the beach in LA?
Like 2 years ago, when we did the Venice Beach and Santa Monica comparison, which you guys can watch by clicking on the link right here on the screen. And if we lived in New York, we'd probably go to the beach just as many times, if not fewer.
No way! Coney Island is way better than the Santa Monica Pier.
Coney Island was closed!
I'm just saying, you can tell that if it had been open, it would have been way cooler than the pier. Plus, the hot dogs were awesome.
Well, that's not fair. The only place you can get a hot dog in LA is Wiener. Shh.
Don't say it.
Shh.
Don't you dare. Everett, I swear to God, if you finish that sentence, somebody's gonna get hurt.
Hey, Baloo, what's that fast food restaurant that serves the hot dogs?
Oh, you mean Wiener Schnitzel? I had been to New York before and seen all the sights, but my American had never been to New York. Can you believe that? So of course, I had to show him a little bit about his country's most important city. And you can't do New York without visiting the most important symbol of freedom in the entire world.
Right behind us, they're starting to replace and repair some of the stone walls that are holding up the Statue of Liberty. Typical American buildings, they have to replace stones after just 200 years.
Kind of makes you wonder, huh?
What?
Whether or not she's wearing anything underneath there.
Afterwards, we visited Ellis Island and learned all about how most European immigrants had to register right there during the 19th century. And I was even able to find my own family name in the registry. How cool is that?
They would get a medical exam and they would get asked questions to see if they would be eligible to immigrate to the United States. And a lot of them were sent back really early on because they were coughing when they walked up the stairs or because their eyes were cloudy. You might also recognize this room from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, because this is where Eddie Redmayne closes his little magical suitcase with all the magical animals.
And of course, the US is the birthplace of the skyscraper. Even though the first skyscrapers were built in Chicago in the 1880s, New York brought the skyscrapers to international fame with such iconic buildings as the Flatiron Building that was built in 1903 and the Chrysler Building built in 1930. And not to forget the most famous skyscraper of all, built in 1931, the Empire State Building.
Look how big the Empire State Building is compared to the Josie.
We also visited Rockefeller Center, which is a total of 19 buildings, 14 of which are skyscrapers, but it's most famous for the ice rink in the very center that you can skate on all winter. The tallest building in New York, in the US, in the Western Hemisphere, One World Trade Center, which started construction in 2006, just 5 years after 9/11. Now, the 9/11 Memorial is a must-see in New York. There are 2 reflective pools to symbolize the footprint of where the towers once stood. The waterfalls on each side are meant to drown out the city noise to make the site a contemplative sanctuary. Walking along the edge of the pools where the names of the victims are inscribed gives the memorial a pensive melancholy. Now, after the memorial, we went to the 9/11 Museum to see artifacts and learn more about the day, and then we went to the top of the One World Observatory. They have a really cool elevator ride that shows you New York City's historical growth, and it takes you up to floor 102. We got to the very top just in time for the sun setting above the city. That's a view you simply have to experience.
Which would have been really romantic if you hadn't been filming on your phone the whole time.
Sometimes you have to sacrifice romance for the sake of YouTube, Everett. Besides, if you're gonna be a tourist, you have to take lots of pictures. It's what you do.
And if you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you call Geico. It's what you do.
Would you stop that? Geico is not even a sponsor.
Well, they should be. We need free car insurance. Call me Geico. My point is, a good tourist doesn't just take pictures. A real tourist soaks in the surroundings, enjoys the moment, experiences the culture.
Oh, please. All you did was drink beer the whole time.
It's part of the New York culture, Josie. I even had a paper bag just like they do in the movies.
You even drank beer during my marathon.
But Josie, drinking on the streets of New York is an experience I can't have in LA. It's like eating a New York bagel.
You can get a bagel in LA.
Oh my God, it is not the same. There isn't a bagel in the world that compares to a New York bagel. You can get a pizza here too, but a pizza in New York is an adventure. Just like a German beer, German bread, and a German doner kebab.
What is it with you and food?
Food is not just a means to metabolize energy. It is an experience.
So you admit that New York is better than LA?
Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. Can you repeat the question?
Is New York better than LA?
You're not the boss of me now. You're not the boss of me now. You're not the boss of me now.
Is New York better than LA?
Okay, well, except for the recent atmospheric rivers dropping like half the ocean on our city, LA has like the best weather in the world.
But New York has real seasons.
Yeah, I guess, if you like that sort of thing.
And way better public transportation.
Yeah, I guess, if you like that sort of thing.
And Central Park?
Yeah, I guess, if you like that sort of thing.
What about the High Line?
Oh, the 1.45 mile long linear park that was converted from an elevated railway, abandoned in 1980 and rebuilt into a greenway park in 2009, which stretches from the Hudson Yards to the Meatpacking District in Manhattan, hosting a variety of modern political art pieces amongst the greenery.
Yeah, didn't you think that was awesome?
Meh, I found it a little disappointing.
What? Why?
Well, it's called the High Line, and there wasn't a single dispensary anywhere to be found.
I'm sure there were plenty of people high on the High Line. It's frickin' New York.
True, New York does have its fair share of dispensaries. I even found one that was selling magic mushroom gummies.
Wait, were you tripping on Times Square?
No.
But you are admitting that New York is clearly better than LA.
But Josie, we're in America now. And we have a saying here, the grass is always greener on the other side of the country. So what if they have the Brooklyn Bridge? It's not like you could pee off of it like you could in Germany.
You're peeing onto traffic.
You can't pee off of every bridge in Germany.
Point is, LA has awesome things too. Sure, New York has Central Park, but do they have mountains with all those great hiking trails? Do they have Disneyland, the Griffith Observatory, Koreatown, the Endeavour Space Shuttle?
Now you're just naming our favorite places.
But that's my point. Does New York have Venice Beach where we first decided to get together? Does it have Beverly Hills where we got married? Does it have all of the memories that we built here? Does it have our careers? We're Hollywood producers now, Josie. LA is our home, and there's a lot to love about that.
Now, occasionally, and I really mean rarely, my American actually says something smart. When you're on vacation, it's the change of routine that is really exciting, and there is so much to do in so little time. And that makes that city so much cooler than what you have at home. I remember my first year living in LA, and I kept thinking how much cooler Los Angeles is than Leipzig, because I just thought the grass was so much greener over here. Well, at least the palm trees. But now that I've been living here for a while and I settled in, I think LA feels a lot more how Leipzig used to feel. You know, it feels like home. Thank you guys so much for watching our video. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you ring that bell so you get notified when we release a new video. And let us know in the comments what's your favorite thing about your hometown. If we ever get to be a tourist in your city, what should we definitely visit? For us, if we had to plan the perfect day in Los Angeles, we would take you to the beach, Griffith Observatory, and dinner in Koreatown. And definitely not that hot dog restaurant that shall not be named.
Hey, it's y'all's fault that the German word has wiener in it.
It's pronounced Wiener, you know, like it's from Vienna, the Austrian capital.
Austria's capital is Wiener?
Even old New York was once New Amsterdam. Why they changed it, I can't say.
People just liked it better that way.
So take me back to Constantinople. No, you can't go back to Constantinople. Been a long time gone. Constantinople. Why did Constantinople get the works? That's nobody's business but the Turks.
Istanbul.
Istanbul.